Hello students, today we are going to deal with poem number 2, A Tiger in the Zoo, which is written by Leslie Norris. Leslie Norris was a Welsh poet. He was also writing short story. He got so many awards and he died in the year 2006. Today, in this poem, we are going to talk about a tiger which is in the zoo. Naturally, you can see the pic and you can have the idea, or you might have seen a tiger in the zoo. So today, in this particular poem, there are two types of contrast has been given. The tiger which is in a natural habitat. Now here natural habitat means tiger used to live in the forest. So for tiger, forest is a natural habitat. And here the second contrast is that this particular tiger is in the zoo. This particular poem moves from the zoo to the jungle and back again to the zoo. So in the starting of the poem, we are going to talk about a tiger which is in the zoo. Then the poet taking us from zoo to the natural habitat, that is called forest. The tiger is in the zoo only. The tiger is not moving from zoo to the forest. It is only, you can say, the poet's ideas that how is tiger in the forest and how is a tiger in the zoo. The tiger is same, but we are able to find it out a lot of change in the behavior when the tiger is in the forest and when the tiger is in the zoo. Read the poem silently once and see which stanzas speak about the tiger in the zoo and which ones speak about the tiger in the jungle. Now let's move further with our poem. Now the very first stanza of your poem. He stalks in his vivid strips the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet ridge. Now here stalk, the meaning of stalk means to walk in anger or proud way. Vivid means very bright. We already know the stripes. You have seen the tiger and you know the tiger is having very bright stripes. Here pads, in your pic you can see, okay, the meaning of velvet has been given. Here the meaning of pads means cushion, soft like cushions, that's called pads, and velvet it's called soft silk cloth. You can see, the heel of the tiger. So the tiger's heel is like cushions, soft like velvet. And here the meaning of, you can say, rage. Rage means anger. Okay. Now let's move further. We are also having another word called quiet. That's called making very little noise, or rather making no noise. Now here he, in the first stanza, this he is used for our tiger. Now here tiger is in the cage and this tiger is, you can say, walking. Where he is walking? Naturally the tiger is in the cage. So the tiger is walking in the cage. Though the tiger is in the cage, still the stripes on his skin are clearly visible. His heels, you can see the peak of the heels of tiger. His heels look like pads of velvet, means very very soft. He doesn't seem to be happy. Okay, what is the reason? That here the word has been given, no, in his quiet rage, means he is angry. So when particular person is angry, it means he is not happy. Here the tiger is also not happy, and we know the reason, that tiger loves his natural habitat, and that's forest. But here just now the tiger is in the cage, and that's why the tiger is not happy. As the tiger is not happy, but still he is not showing his anger. You can see the last line, in his quiet rage. He is angry, but still he is not showing his anger. Rather, he walks around the cage very quietly, very slowly, without making noise. Though he is angry, okay, he can jump, he can move, but he is not doing that. He is angry still. He is moving very quietly in the cage. Second stanza, he should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass. Now on your screen you can see the tiger, and around the tiger you are able to see the long grass. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. So here the meaning of lurking means waiting secretly. Shadow means darkness. Sliding through means moving smoothly and quietly without making noise. Water hole means a small pool of water where forest animals are coming to drink water. Here the meaning of plump means fat. Now here the very first stanza we talk about the tiger which is in the zoo. Now the second stanza, here in this stanza the poet is talking about a tiger, but the tiger which is in the forest. Now here the poet is telling that when the tiger is in the forest, what he used to do. Generally you can say we know the tiger. Tiger always knows how to kill his hunt, how to make hunt. So he does not, when we talk about tiger, tiger doesn't attack, you can say immediately on the prey. What he used to do then? He should be lurking in shadow. Very first, the tiger observes the animals, and then we have already seen lurking means waiting secretly. Then very slowly he is sliding through the long grass, means in the darkness of that long grass, very slowly he is sliding. Number two, he is actually waiting for that right moment. He slides silently through the long grass before charging or attacking upon that hunt. Near the water hole where the plump deer pass, very slowly through the sliding through that long grass, this particular tiger will reach to that water hole or that water body, so that the tiger knows very well that this is a pond, this is a water hole. So here so many animals are coming, and the favorite, you can say, the food of tiger, that is called deer. And here in this stanza we are talking about plump deer, that you can say the fat deer. So naturally the fat deer is going to come, and at that moment this particular tiger, which is already hiding himself, is going to attack on the deer. Now on your screen you can see the deer also, and you can see the tiger, how the tiger is attacking on deer, that has been shown in the pic. Now the third stanza, he should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. Now snarling, making an aggressive growl, showing his teeth. On your screen in the pic you can see that this particular tiger is also, you can say, snarling, because you are able to see his teeth also. Around, the meaning of around means in all the direction, in various directions. at the jungle's edge, means at the outskirts of jungle, where the jungle is going to be over, and from that human habitat is going to be start. Fangs. The meaning of fangs means here we are talking about that two long sharp teeth. Here in the peak also you are able to see that particular white fangs. Claws, everyone knows claws, nails of animals or birds. Here we are talking about the claws of tiger. Terrorizing, that is called creating fear. Now here, what happened when we talk about tiger? A lot many time, as the tiger is free, the tiger is going to move all around the forest. Sometimes this particular tiger is also going to move around at the outskirts of the jungle. Generally, at the outskirts of a jungle, we are able to find it out the human habitants. As humans are living, there are houses of these humans. And a lot many times, this particular tiger is snarling around the houses of humans. Not only that, whenever you can say the tiger is able to see the humans, even he is showing his power. He would open out his sharp, long white teeth and paws just to terrorize this particular villagers. So, through the snarling, through the you can say this particular claws, through this particular you can say the teeth, he is going to you can say the snare very loudly, and in this way he is going to terrorize for this particular villagers. Now on your screen another pic has been given. Here also the position of the tiger has been given, how he is going to snare, and definitely you can see that if you have a tiger and if the tiger is snarling naturally, it is going to create terror. Now the next answer, but he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Everyone knows the meaning of locked. Locked means put under the lock. Concrete cell means the cell or prison which has been made up of concrete. Strength means power. Behind means backward. Stalking, we have already seen the meaning of stalking, that to walk in anger or a proud way. Here the meaning of bar means prison. Ignoring means not paying attention. And visitors means persons who visit. Now here the very first stanza we talk about the tiger which is in the zoo. The second and third stanza we talk about the tiger which is in the forest. And again in this particular fourth stanza we are talking about a tiger which is again in the you can say the zoo in the cage. Now here in the second and third stanza we have seen that what kind of power the tiger is having, how this particular tiger is creating terror for that particular visitors, how he's showing you can say his power through the snarling. But the same tiger, now he is in the zoo. Not only in the zoo, he is behind the bars, means this particular tiger is locked in this concrete prison. He is having lot of strength, but this strength is behind bars, means he is having power but he cannot use his power. He cannot do anything using this power. So what he is doing? He is doing nothing. He is actually walking the length of his cage, and whenever the visitors are coming, what he is doing? He is not paying attention to visitors. Rather, he is ignoring visitors. Now, the last stanza. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Last voice at night means the last voice heard at night. Patrolling cars means the cars which patrol or which will go for watching. Now here when we talk about a zoo, it's a patrolling time. There are particular, you can say, the people which has been given the work of patrolling. So they will just go on roaming and they will just have a watch. They can just have a, you can say, a safety, for the safety purpose of the zoo animals. Apart from that, we have the another word called stares, that is looks for a long time. Brilliant eyes means very bright eyes. Now here, it was a very late night, but still this tiger is, you can say, the awake. As he is awake, he is able to hear that the last voice of that patrolling cars. Though it is very late, but somehow he is not getting sleep. Generally, when people are sad, people are unhappy, they are not able to sleep. Here, this our tiger is also unhappy because no one likes cage. Everyone likes freedom. But this particular tiger is in the cage, and that's why he's not happy. He's sad, and that's why, though it is very late night, he's not getting sleep, and he hears that particular sound of patrolling cars. He's not having any other work to do. The way he can roam freely in the forest, he cannot. And that's why, nothing to do, he stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. As you can see on your screen, how with the brilliant eyes, this particular tiger is looking at brilliant stars. So through the cage, he is looking at the brilliant stars. Here, stars are also, you can say, the bright, and here, eyes of the tiger is also bright. And here, our poem is also going to be over. Now here, moral of the poem, you can say that everyone likes freedom, whether they are birds, whether they are animals. The way human likes freedom, even they also like freedom. It can be said that though there is a bird, if you give them golden cage, but cage is cage. Though you will just take lot of care, but the way freedom can give the happiness, no one can give the happiness in the cage. So here your poem is over. Thank you. Bye bye.